Okay, so we're going to round up our tour here with the 1999 season, when we had a lot of players coming into the Hall of Fame that took, it seemed, forever to get here. And as we zoom into some of these players that we're going to see on the wall over here, I mean, look at the names. Look at the names. Orlando Cepedas. He retired in 1974, and it took him 25 years to get here. Frank Gibson Sele. I mean, 1905. You realize it almost took him 100 years out of baseball. He was one of the most successful managers in the history of our entire baseball era, any era. Of course, George Anderson. Everyone knows Sparky Anderson from his time in Cincinnati and Detroit. He was the only man to actually win, as of now, he's not the only manager to win a World Series in both the National and American League. It's been done since, but he was the first one to ever do it. Carlton Fisk, of course, Red Sox. Everyone knows him for the Red Sox and him hitting that ball over the wall, trying to get it to stay fair. If it stays fair. Everyone remembers that big quote. It's actually amazing that he actually played longer for the White Sox than he did for the Red Sox. He only played 9-10 years for the Red Sox, but he played 12 for the White Sox. Ended up going in with Boston. You can tell by the hat. Here we go. Of course, this is a great name in history. Everybody remembers the Bill Mazeroski shot heard around the world. I mean, it's amazing he actually left the game in 1972, and it took him almost 30 years to get into the Hall of Fame. But I mean, what he did at that moment in that big Game 7, he's still the only man that hit a Game 7 walk-off and the World Series home run. So it's pretty nice. Of course, everyone remembers Kirby Puckett as well. We recently lost Kirby Puckett, and two World Series titles. He actually got hit in the head with that baseball and never really recovered from it. So it's pretty amazing that he actually, to be taken from us the way he did. It's pretty unfortunate. Of course, Kirby Puckett, tremendous for the Twins. Man. Dave Winfield, of course, Yankees. Most people remember he was the first ever player to actually make $1 million and have $1 million salary in baseball. It's amazing to think the first player to make $1 million. I mean, now we're looking at players who are making $25, $28 million, and right under Dave Winfield is Ozzie Smith, the Wizard. Oh man, he's a tremendous baseball player. Obviously, everyone knows him for his flips and his barehanded antics over at first base, and of course, since Lisa's with me today, I'm sure she remembers Gary Carter. We all remember Gary Carter. We actually spoke to Ed Hearn on our first ever Sports Palooza radio show, and we talked about Gary Carter and what the loss that was. And I was really sad. He didn't deserve, when you call the kid, you kind of hope he was going to be with us a little bit longer. And so he won it actually as an Expo. It's amazing he won a championship with the Mets and went in as an Expo. Of course, Dennis Eckersley, everyone remembers the home run that he gave up to Kirk Gibson in the World Series with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers won the World Series. And Kirk Gibson limping around the bases, and we have two actual managers in baseball right now. Paul Molitor is going to be taking over for the Minnesota Twins this year as manager. Ron Sandberg is also managing in baseball right now as well. What else do we have here? Is this a name? Look at this name, 1903. I mean, it took him 100 years to be recognized for what he did in baseball. It's pretty tremendous. So we're going to work our way, just figure our way over here with the 2006 entrance. And this is some big names over here. I mean, the Biz. It's amazing when you think of names that people don't really recognize. That he was tremendous. Bruce Sutter, obviously one of the best closers. He really came in with that split-fingered pitch that really no one had really started throwing yet, and all of a sudden we see what it did for Mariano Rivera and how doing changes in your arm angles and fingers really changed the game. And we had the 2006, of course, Cal Ripken. Everyone knows who Cal Ripken is. Of course, he broke Lou Gehrig's record for all-time games played with 2,130. Ended up with about 2,150 at some point. He was 2,632. I'm sorry, it's actually sitting there. The Goose. All of the Yankee fans, of course, remember the Goose, even when he was at San Diego, of course, and he helped the Yankees win the 1978 championship. Walter O'Malley, amazing owner. It's amazing it actually took him that long to get into the Hall of Fame as well, because he was in baseball from 1943 to 1979. I mean, if you're in baseball for that long, it actually took you that long to get to the Hall. It's amazing. So they're making an announcement right now. So we're going to work our way over to one more section of the Hall of Fame.